What's up, all fellows? Fuck. What's up, all my fellow speedsters and all many humans throughout the multiverse? It's Kevin here, and welcome back to another reaction on the channel. So today we will be reacting to Smallville Season 1, Episode 3. So like I mentioned in my other videos, Episode 1 and 2 were, they're just done. Episode 1 got corrupted, and Episode 2, my computer crashed before I finished recording the full episode, and I didn't really want to re-record the first half, so it is what it is. Yeah, so far of what I've seen of Smallville, it's pretty decent. I still need a little bit more for me to get fully into the show, but it does has a very interesting premise that I did notice that the Flash has taken a little bit of inspiration from Smallville, since Smallville was such a big show. But with Smallville, they have the meteorites or the asteroids as a source for all these new power beings that are popping up now, which I did kind of notice. This is probably where the Flash got their inspiration from when they went with the particle accelerator thing in Season 1, which I thought was actually kind of cool. And yeah, so far, episodes 1 and episodes 2 were very grounded. It does seem like the show, at least for this first season, or maybe even first couple seasons, will be pretty grounded, but I've liked it so far. I just need a little bit more for me to get fully into the show, because even, I understand it's the first season, because even, like, Arrow Season 1 did take me a little bit to get into it alongside Daredevil, but I'm not saying the show is bad in any means so far. It's just so, it's a little slow for me personally, but I can see that will get better, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll probably try to recap the first two episodes. The first episode had a pretty simple premise, introducing us to Clark, and the whole setting. How I found it interesting how they're using Lana Lane instead of Lois Lane. So I'm assuming Lois will be introduced into the show a little later. So I thought that was actually kind of interesting. I don't really remember too much of young Superman's backstory. I just knew I have read a lot of Superman stories when I was a kid in comics, but I don't really remember Lana Lane or any of those other characters. Even on Supergirl, they had I think it was Lucy Lang and General Lane. I knew General Lane, but I didn't know Lucy Lang or Lana Lane. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and it was kind of cool. We also got introduced to Lex Luthor in the first episode, which I thought was kind of cool. And there was also a Queen Industries there was an Oliver Queen reference there, which I thought was kind of cool, because I know that Green Arrow does become a pretty big character in this show. I know that, and I'm very curious to see when he pops up, because it said that Oliver Queen has disappeared at this point, and I'm also interested to see how different the Smallville Green Arrow is to Stephen Amell's Green Arrow. I'm very interested to see how all that plays out. And I'm also curious to see how much inspiration that Arrow got from this version of the character, because it does seem like some of the Arrowverse shows, at least in the beginning, did take a little bit of inspiration from Smallville, which is understandable of how big the show was. Which I kind of wish I did see this back way back, but I'm watching it now, and I hope you guys do enjoy these reactions. So first episode, it's a simple premise. It introduced us to the characters Clark, even Lex. I thought it was kind of a weird detail how they made him bald like so young. I don't remember. I remember that there was like one comic, I think, that Superman caused Lex to go bald, but I don't think that he was like young or anything, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not too sure, but I thought it was a very weird detail to make him bald like super young, like as a kid. Of course, that was caused by the asteroids. And he seems like he's around Clark's age when we see him in present day, so I thought it was kind of interesting how they made him bald so quickly. But I can understand that they want to capture the character and make him look as comic accurate, so because people know Lex Luthor as the bald businessman, so I guess it kind of makes sense. I also thought it was very interesting that they introduced Kryptonite so early, like in the pilot, and I thought, oh, that was really interesting, because I thought they would introduce Kryptonite a little later. I expected them to introduce him in the first season, but I didn't think kryptonite would become a thing so early. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. And it was a pretty simple premise in the pilot. Clark kind of struggling with the girl, and he also gets bullied at school. Well, kind of. He kind of seems more like average. He does seem a little bit like an outcast, but not to like Peter Parker level extent, if you get what I'm saying. And I thought it was pretty cool. And they introduced us to these other characters. I forgot Clark, one of the other friend Clark has. I forgot his name. But he and Clark did try for the football team, as it was stated later in the episode that the football team hangs up one of the freshmen as a scarecrow, which we actually did see earlier in the episode when all the asteroids hit. So I thought that was it was a weird thing, but high school thing. So yes, Clark gets strung up on there, and he's given the necklace, which extremely weakens him. And like I said, I thought it was a very interesting detail to bring in kryptonite so early. And we see Whitney, who is Lana Lane's boyfriend, so it does seem like he will be a kind of a rival for Clark in terms of the romantic story with Lana, because they do seem like they're setting up Lana and Clark getting together. It's probably not going to last, because once they introduce Lois, because Lois and Clark, not the show, but Lois and Clark are such a iconic relationship, they have to do it. So I'm very curious to see how all that stuff pans out. And we also got to see our first look at our first, I'm going to say power person. I don't want to use the term metahuman, because I know that was a big thing in The Flash. I know metahuman is a term in the comics, but I don't know if I want to call them that just yet. I'm just going to call them power beings. Like the Scarecrow kid that we saw earlier has like electrical powers, so he might be a version of Livewire, because that's the only character that I can think of that has that type of power set. But overall, Clark defeats him pretty easily. And I also kind of liked how they're having Clark progressively grow and learn about his abilities, because we saw at the beginning that he already has super speed, but he doesn't know about his invulnerability and his super strength, which I thought was kind of cool. And that also leads into the next episode with Clark sort of learning that he can at least float, not fly yet in the beginning, although it doesn't come up later in the episode. We do kind of see Clark and Lex grow as friends. So I think that's actually pretty interesting. They're definitely going to set up, the whole friendship between the two of them, and then I am interested to see how they're going to make Lex the villain. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. And we got introduced to another character, which by far the weirdest character. I know it's the second episode, but the bug stuff was just so weird with Greg. How he was like molting, and that was like really gross. I actually had to turn away when I watched that. And overall, we do see more fragments of kryptonite that are around. In fact, they actually bring up the kryptonite a lot more in this episode than they did last episode, so I thought that was a pretty cool detail. And overall, similar to last episode, Clark beats Greg and gives Lana her necklace back, because Whitney put that necklace on Clark when he put him up on the Scarecrow. And overall, looks like Whitney has buried the hatchet with Clark, at least for the time being, but they are probably going to be rivals throughout the season. And overall, it does seem like they're going to follow like a pretty simple villain of the week formula, which is probably what Flash got their idea from, because I do see a lot of similarities between the two. So I'm very curious to see how all this goes down. But overall, I'm really enjoying the show so far. I know it's only the first couple episodes. I still need a little bit more to get into the show, but I haven't had an enjoyable experience, and I can't wait to see more Superman characters, more DC characters be introduced. So anyway, with that being said, I've been rambling on for way too long. This is Smallville Season 1, Episode 3. Let's get right into the reaction. The hell? Okay, I thought I was going to eat them for a second. Those... I'm going to assume that's kryptonite too, because those are fragments from the meteorite. Is he become Metallo? That's the only character I can think of at the time right now.
I've seen your temper, I've seen your methods. Just because you win doesn't make you right.
Damn.
Suspending the players. End of story.
That's the breaking point for him. Oh, damn. Okay, never mind. He's not Metallo.
A lot of God-given talent. It's in your genes, Kent.
Actually, I'm adopted.
Damn, he's really pressuring him into joining the football team. Damn, this guy is dedicated. He's one dedicated coach.
We'll see you at practice.
You try to impress some girl with a fancy move, somebody gets seriously hurt out there.
He's got a point, though.
Much more important things.
He makes one mistake and he could overdo it.
I'm sick
with
of
the
being
super
punished
strength.
because I had to. I'm playing football and you can't stop me.
Damn.
I'm increasing my workforce.
By how much?
20%.
Damn.
Thanks. I've always
Hey, Dominic. If we increase productivity
Yeah,
of
it's true.
our competitor drones, then people who challenge his archaic business practices,
I'll be certain to tell him that.
please do. Now, this meeting is adjourned.
Damn. I've only seen him in 3 episodes, and I already like Michael Rosenbaum as Lex. I really like his charisma. He really plays the role really well. Oh, he's gonna see that she's not there.
Hey, Silana?
You out here to be a tackling dummy. Get angry! Kick some butt!
Ugh. Alright, is he gonna let loose?
That guy's same place.
Ooh, alright, Clark. Damn! Ooh. Oh, man. Uh-oh. Better get out of that car. Get... Oh, okay. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. Ooh, that was close. Damn, what character is that coach?
Okay, thanks.
I feel like I've seen a character similar to that power set.
Until over the weekend.
Didn't run away one summer and try out for the Metropolis Sharks.
Since when did you go and join the other side?
Clark hasn't been able to do anything normal. his
Oh
whole
man,
life.
I like the
No
dynamic
parties,
between
no
the two of
little
them.
Because we were afraid he might hurt somebody.
I need to know the
He's a
actor's name because
teenager
he's playing Jonathan really well.
Responsibilities.
Well, if we don't start trusting him,
It's true.
nobody's gonna have to take him away. He's gonna leave all by himself.
That's also true.
Friday Night Lights.
I joined a football team, not a cult.
Yeah, next thing you know, I'm gonna be joining the Pom Pom.
Oh, that line did not age well.
Lana,
Ever?
where's your necklace?
Strict dress code. No jewelry and no open-toed shoes.
It's convenient.
Very...
They go cold, it's coming out of your tips.
Right, sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just be faster.
Damn.
Now why doesn't that terrorize me?
Oh damn. Man, this guy is crazy, man. Okay, people are gonna now know about these power people now. 100%. Oh, I just noticed the mansion is the same mansion they used for Arrow. Oh. Alright, this will be interesting. Oh no, heck yeah, okay. Things are serious. Oh, damn!
Look at your moves, Lex. I want those workers gone by noon tomorrow. Meeting adjourned.
Damn. Oh!
Newspaper, Trevor?
I was at the field last night. She's got a picture of us in the sprinklers.
Oh no. He's gonna go after her now.
I'll take you.
Damn, he's actually trying to murder her. Yeah, this man's lost it.
Anything, Chloe? No?
Ooh, okay, first person. Oh, he probably knows that he has powers now. Alright, Alright, so it does seem like he controls it psychically. Alright. Because I thought it just, like, happened when he was angry, but it looks like he does it psychically.
No. You both stood your ground and are doing what you want. I caved. You two have inspired me. Oh, yeah. Is that what you ordered? Not even close.
Oh, that's great. Oh. Uh-oh. Kryptonite.
Too hot for you? Huh?
Ooh! Oh no. Alright, who's gonna come save him? Damn. It really is interesting that they are bringing Kryptonite in so early in his story. I actually kind of like it because we never really seen that in a lot of Superman media. Alright, you got your powers back. Ooh! He's gonna walk right through that. Ooh! Alright, Clark. Damn. Did he burn? Oh, he burned himself, didn't he? He got too heated.
Sometimes I just want to scream.
Why don't we?
Yeah, the two of them have really good chemistry.
Scream.
Alright, so that was Smallville, season 1, episode 3. Another pretty solid episode. I think I like this episode the most out of the first two. There's definitely, I think I like this because it had a lot more character building stuff, even with the villain of the week type of format that they're going for. I really did like how they're really building up the chemistry between the actors, because particularly I really like how they're kind of building up Clark and Lex's relationship and friendship a lot more, which will eventually be the unfortunate downfall of Lex later to come, because that's inevitable. And I also really did enjoy seeing the scenes between Clark and Lana, because the two of them have really great chemistry together. I'm still very interested to see how they're going to introduce Lois, because I do see Clark and Lana getting together. I think that's inevitable, but Lois will eventually be brought into the picture, so I'm very curious to see how that's going to go, because you know, you can't really have Superman without Lois Lane. So, we'll see how that goes. I also really did enjoy the stuff between Clark and Jonathan. I really do like the actor that plays Jonathan. I thought that was really great. He's really great, and he has he plays the role really well, and he and Tom Welling do have really good chemistry together as like a father and son dynamic. I think that they nailed perfectly in this episode. And I did really like how they all have the overall theme of family between Clark and really Clark, Lana, and Lex. I was just going to say Clark and Lex, but also Lana a bit, but not that much. How they had their own issues with their own like heritage and bloodline in a way. Like how, you know, Clark wants to play football like the rest of his family, but you know, his dad doesn't want to, so he wants to go off on his own and make his own decision. And Lana did the same thing, whereas Lex, you know, gave in to what his dad wanted him to do. And then eventually Lex came up with his own decision, which I really did like. I really did like that theme that they were setting in that episode. And overall, it does seem like Lex is a genuine good person for right now, so I'm very curious to see what's going to drive him to become the villain. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to go. That's probably going to be very slow building. I don't think Lex is going to become like an antagonist for at least a while. But I'm very curious to see how all that's going to go. The coach character, he was alright. You know, he was a villain of the week, so he wasn't really too interesting. I'm very curious to see some of the other Superman characters to be brought in. And like I said, I was very interested that they brought in Kryptonite and made that... I really like what they did with the Kryptonite stuff, as they kind of made it prominent for the season, but also it's also a way for them to explain all the power people, like the asteroids I guess the asteroid's radiation gives people their powers or the exposure, like with the Scarecrow kid with his electricity powers, and the bug guy, and Greg and his bug powers when he got stung by the swarm of bugs he had. And now with the coach when he was in the sauna and cooking up the asteroids. I thought that was actually very interesting. And I actually really do like it. It's a good storytelling way of bringing in kryptonite, but also explain all these power people. So it kind of works. It's kind of a win-win for the story. So I actually really enjoy the way the writers brought that in. And overall, I do like the dynamic between all the characters so far. It does seem like Chloe is going to be a bigger part of the season, it seems like. So I think maybe Chloe, because it does seem like Chloe is the reporter type of character, so maybe she will bring in, maybe that dynamic will set up Lois to be brought in, and then they'll be all introduced to the Daily Planet. Maybe we could even eventually see Jimmy Olsen. I'm very curious to see how all that goes. And overall, pretty good episode. And I really did like the way Clark does use his powers, and the way this show is shot is actually pretty well done, especially for the time, because I know the show is, especially this first season, is pretty old, but it still actually looks pretty decent to watch, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see more. Not a whole lot of big storytelling moments has happened. We don't really have a main villain yet, so I'm very curious to see how the season is going to go, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So yeah. So I'm going to end it right here. I'm going to record episode 4, and we'll see how this goes. And hopefully we can get this up and rolling soon. My plan is to upload at least 2 episodes, 1 to 2 episodes every Friday. And if I can manage that, maybe I'll upload more someday. I'm still working out this new schedule, or this slightly altered schedule. But overall, I hope you guys do enjoy these Smallville reactions. So yeah. I'm going to end right here. What are your guys' thoughts on the episode? If one of you subscribers is new to Smallville, welcome. And please, no spoilers in the comments, please. This is a new show for me. I know almost nothing about the show. I mean, I know a few characters, like, for example, I know Green Arrow is a big character, and I do know that Aquaman showed up, and I know the Flash is there, and I think that's... I also know that there's like a Justice Society arc in here, because I remember seeing Dr. Fate in a clip, and that's about it. That's all I really know. I don't really know like the overall story of Smallville, so please refrain from spoilers, please. But anyway, guys, gonna end right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this reaction. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys later.